Hey there, guys. So I'm making a quick video about my med bag that I generally carry, whether it's in my day pack, my medium malice, my ruck. Generally, whenever I go out, if I'm doing something with more than just my chest rig that has an IFAK on it, I'm bringing this with me. I was gonna make this video when I was in the mountains this last weekend, but with the way the weather was, I didn't want to set up my poncho and try and pull all of this stuff out like in the pouring rain and snow, and it all get wet when it doesn't have to, right? So that's why I'm making it. I'm home. I'm making it here at home today. So let's start with the bag. I have two of these. I'm using the other one as my NVG bag right now. I got this from my friend in South Africa. It's a Recce specific, South African Recce specific camouflage that it was called the P90 camouflage. They nicknamed it Cabbage Patch. I don't know why, but that's what they did. Now it's like rubberized on the inside, so it is the bag itself is waterproof. Obviously, the opening is just kind of like this drawstring opening, so it's not zippered or a waterproof zipper. So yes, moisture can get inside, but remember, my general area I'm in being, here in the Southwest with how dry it is, I'm not necessarily worried about my med bag getting a ton of moisture in it. Plus everything obviously in here is sealed. So yeah, so that's the bag. So let's just start and go over the contents. Now, the way I have this set up, so you got to think of it this way, right? If you're doing things in a small group, and you don't necessarily have a designated medic, but everybody obviously has their IFAK, their individual first aid kit, which is generally for trauma. It may have guys may have a little pouch or something with some Band-Aids and like steri strips and the antiseptic wipes and things like that. But when it comes to like sustained in the field, I generally in kits don't see guys really carrying it. Now, that's the caveat. I think I made the same kind of caveat in my last video with the Kestrel and the weather and stuff, saying I'm not trying to be a SOWT. I'm not trying to be a SOWT, special operations weather technician, and I'm not trying to be like a medic or a corpsman, but there's a responsibility, especially whether you're by yourself or in a group of small people or a small group of people, to be able to somewhat provide some medical care in a emergency / like I said, sustained, like you're in the field for an extended period of time, so that if somebody gets sick, you can kind of help fix them without, if you don't have any support, it's just you understand what I'm saying? So that's what this is for. This isn't pretending to be a corpsman. This isn't anything. This is just sustainment, really, like medical sustainment. So let's open it up. On the very top, I have a cat tourniquet. This is like the 5th one in all my kit, with the mini Sharpie for the time. Cat tourniquet right on the top, and the Leatherman, what are they? The Raptors, the Raptor Rescue shears. They got the measurement. This I owned a pair a while ago, and you can cut through a penny with them. So wicked sharp. It also has seatbelt cutter, glass breaker. Not that you necessarily need those when you're like in a field environment, but actually I got both of these from Brownells. This for a decent price, and Brownells has been out of stock for these, but they also carry the training one, which I think I'm gonna pick up a couple training ones, because the next time me and the guys go out, I want to do some medical training, some, I guess, trauma medical training. But yeah, I got both of those from Brownells, and I like I said, I had a pair of these. These are the, I guess, not necessarily deluxe pair, but the better pair, because there's another pair that's a little bit cheaper, and I think those were the ones I had. So they both cut pennies. They are a very intense, durable, thick blade, right? So those are on the top. Obviously, EMT shears can be used for more than just cutting away clothes and whatnot. That's on the top. Obviously, obvious reasons for trauma. You want that right on the top. And then in the bag, kind of, let's see, can we sit this up? Yeah. stack. This is coming from the top, right? Gloves, first off, you know, regardless of what you're doing, gloves right on the top. Then 2 muslin triangular bandages that have a slew of uses for wrapping something, for making a sling, for keeping gauze almost anywhere on the body, making a this is also what they called a cravat in Vietnam. This is a cravat, right? This is what they use, these triangular bandages. And you know, the guys on the RT teams, they would have what, 3 or 4 all over their body that would double as an emergency tourniquet. Well, that's why they carried 3 or 4. So I got 2 of the triangular bandages on the top. Then I have another type of, this is a TK4. This is a TK4 tourniquet. It's an elastic one. It's not as aggressive as the cat tourniquet. I think, personally, I think they're also for, if you have to have a tourniquet on for potentially an extended period of time, which we obviously don't want to happen, but if you have to, I feel that the elastic, these kind of tourniquets are, as bad as it sounds, gentler. So yeah, softer tourniquet is included in with the cat tourniquet. Then I also have a small bottle of iodine. Not only is it good, obviously useful for medical purposes, for sanitizing and prepping an area, whether you're gonna try and pull some splinters out or maybe suture something up. It's kind of a multi-purpose antiseptic, and you can also use it to purify water. So small bottle of that. And then pill-wise right now, all I have is pain meds and Imodium, like prescription strength Imodium. During the hot months, I'll have an anti-malarial pill because of the Rio Grande here and how bad the mosquitoes can get the closer you get to water sources here in the desert. And my salt pills, which I've learned the hard way that I do have to use when I go out in the heat here. So those are the pills that kind of rotate through. Then I have 2 different sizes of the Israeli emergency dressing, a smaller 4-inch and a 6-inch one. Just, you know, for cuts, maybe a gunshot wound, or, you know, potentially a compound fracture or something like that. I have a roll of cloth athletic tape, which has multiple uses, from sprained ankles, sprained wrists, to binding for potentially broken limbs and things like that. So I have a roll of that. I have a burn dressing for obvious reasons, hands burning on barrels or potentially, you know, fire or something like that. 2 things of compressed gauze. So I got 2 of the triangular bandages, 2 of the Israeli bandages, 2 compressed gauzes. This is generally on the top, keeps sliding down, but a CPR mask. Now that it's winter, I've rotated some hot hands into here to just obviously help mitigate potential hypothermia or frostbite. A red glow stick, a decompression needle. Now, I've stated in other videos that I am not the best at medical things, and I personally would not use this unless it was a very dire emergency, because I haven't been properly trained on it. I've watched and I've seen how it's used, but I haven't been properly trained on it. So I wouldn't want to use it unless it was just me. And then I would take that chance. So I have a decompression needle. Then we have, this is vitamins, superfood green blends for especially cold weather months. If you're wet and cold, you want guys to stay, or if somebody's getting a cold, you want guys to stay healthy. So I've got some superfood greens in here, as well as some broth packets to kind of go hand in hand with the hot hands. I have another pack of hot hands in my ruck itself, but you know, to have those to help mitigate hypothermia and getting too cold. Just gauzes, just gauze pads, multiple sizes, just for wiping up blood or something from a cut or whatnot. Pills, we've got Midol, Sudafed, Pepto-Bismol, Benadryl, Dramamine, We also have in this is Tylenol. It has Tylenol extra strength, Tylenol PM, and Aleve, which is naproxen, which is a different type of NSAID, but it's for more like joint pain and stuff. Tums, Alka-Seltzer. To go with the joint pain, I was just saying lidocaine patches, which are great topical things to use. So I got lidocaine patches for sore back, sore shoulders, sore legs. And then we've got SAM splint, full-size SAM splint for obviously splinting broken limbs or you know, potentially a compound fracture type situation. So I got the big SAM splint, and then is that just moleskin and like normal band-aids, because like I said, I have a band-aid kit in my IFAK, but this is just moleskin and normal band-aids, because remember, I'm going to go into my IFAK to get my band-aids and my moleskin first before I go into my pack and delve into this, because this also, remember, this isn't like a first line emergency thing. If I'm hurt, I'm instantly going to go for my IFAK first before I take my ruck off or run. You know, this is always on the top of my ruck, on the inside of the main portion, but it's obviously easier to get to the IFAK, right? So band-aids, moleskin, and then a suture kit. Multiple size sutures. I also have steri strips. I do practice suturing. I'm not the best at it. I do more of a whip stitch than individual sutures, just because it saves time and it's potentially not as painful, you know, pulling through. But yeah, so suture kit, that's one big thing to practice, suturing. So that's the last bit in there. And now I just picked this up. I made that post about casualty evacuation. This is the North American Rescue Quick Litter. It holds up to 500 pounds, which is like, you know, a dude and almost all his gear. Plus, you know, potentially even his ruck if you could fit it on there. So I got this for $20. It's so, you know, if you know you're going to go out with a group of two or more, then this would definitely, 3 or more, then this would definitely be a thing to put underneath my med bag in my pack, my ruck. So yeah, there you go. Kind of a slew of things. You know, you've got the medicine for colds, and you've got the topical things for sore muscles and stuff like that. And so yeah. So I kind of tried to cover a broad spectrum of things. It's obviously not like a hospital bag, a medic bag with like IVs and shit like that. But I mean, you can do a lot with what you have in here, especially sustainment. Like say you were at like a patrol-based type situation where you're there for multiple weeks. This would get you in a small group of guys through the general ailments that you would have right now. Like I said, I have the situated for cold weather. And then, you know, when it's hot, when it's warm weather, I'll put, you know, my other pills in, and I do use disposable ice packs, which are great to help cool the body down quickly. Tuck them under the armpits and then the groin, back of the base of the skull, back of the neck. So that goes in there too. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys found that informative. I know it was kind of quick. I just wanted to go over this because I've been thinking about it for a while. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.